Welcome back, everybody. We're live. It's Two Alphas Talk. Tonight, we're going to talk to you guys about body armor ban in New York City, New York State, and HR 1808, and what else? We don't know. So tonight's show is it's a live show with phone number. We're broadcasting on Twitch, Saber Team 19, YouTube, the Two Alphas Talk, and Facebook, Saber Team Tactical LLC. This also is a call-in show. You can call in at 404-692-0561, or you can reach us by each of the platforms that we have and chat to us live, and we will put your chats on air if they're decent. At this time, we're going to go ahead and talk to you about who's sponsoring the show, and that's Saber Team Tactical. Saber Team Tactical is a training company, and we have classes almost every month this year.
Yep, and we have our favorite, favored by most of our clients is the one-on-one private training, where we bring you up to speed to where you need to be. If you have any yips or you low left, we will correct that. We'll work with you if you're intermediate. If you feel you're intermediate shooter, we take a judge look at that, and then we'll move you up to advanced. We'll get you moving on the right drills, fundamentals to get you to the next level. We have a class coming up. Yep, that one's already passed.
It's already
September
passed.
3rd, the semi-automatic rifle for self-defense, where we do drills and we go through how you can manipulate your rifle to the maximum for you. You know, each individual is different, but we work with everyone. The next class that we have coming up is, I can't see the bottom about there. There we go. And we got a shotgun class. Those are all gone. Yeah,
all gone. I'll update the website after tonight, guys.
That's cool. Medical and rifle battle class. That's going to be a good one. That's one of our, we end in the fall, kind of going into winter training. And medical and rifle battle class, that's a good class. If you have gear, you have an understanding of how to stop the bleed and work within a team format, that's the class for you. Rifle and PCC class, we offer those. And also one of the classes that we have openings for is rifle and tactical gear class, which is coming up. You got any gear you bought off Wish you want to take a chance at, bring it out. Bring it out. That guy above me will wear that thing out.
Now, also, too, I do recommend you guys signing up for the semi-automatic rifle self-defense class. That class will get you in tone and get you ready for the any of the last two classes that's in October and November, because we do not go over handling weapons in those classes. You need to know how to manipulate malfunctions and all those basic drills yourself before you even come to that class.
Yep.
Because that class does not have that time or patience to deal with that.
Well, no, what you're saying is right, because at that point we're moving it directly into movement, and you have to be able to handle your own firearm.
Right, and we got too much stuff to cover in the 8-hour period. You can go to the website, go to the Saber Team Tactical online store, and get a variety of items, medical kits, also swag, and also whole bunch of array of stuff, plate carriers, and you can get all that good stuff there if you just go there and check it out. So tonight we're going to talk about New York City, and the reason we're talking about this because they're planning on doing this to the rest of the country. They plan on passing this next bill through the House. It's already been talked about. I hear rumors being talked about. They're trying to come up with a body armor ban in the United States for the general public, just like they did the rifle and pistol ban. So this ban that they're talking about doing will make it illegal to possess. It will be no grandfather clause. It will be illegal to not possess and own, wear. Also, it will you can't sell it. So that would put everybody, all the you dealers out of business, and your stores, local stores. But what they did, they passed this bill, a prototype in New York City, and it went into effect July 1st. And it's Al's old stomping ground.
Yeah, I escaped.
Yeah, he escaped from New York.
I escaped.
Right, smart man. So I'm going to bring up the bill here. This was the bill. It was HR 45. No, this is the bill that they're planning on bringing to the United States. This bill was drafted in 219 and 220, HR 4568, and it's basically you look at all the people who put out the bills, the same people who did the gun control bill. They were all Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you read the title here, this act may cite responsibility, responsible body armor possession act. Why did they do that?
Because it's worded exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's that is interesting that they do that.
Well, what about responsible firearm ownership?
Right.
And gun safety.
Yeah, I noticed it's the same thing. It's the same exact title on all of them.
That word responsible makes it seem as though if
It's
you
harmless.
follow the rules,
won't
you're a
be
good person. So that means
Right.
if you don't use body armor and you don't own body armor, you're a good person. Because you're responsible.
right. So if you look, this bill is almost the same as the firearms bill. Look, Section B, A. The purchase, ownership, possession by under and authority of United States Department yeah, or other agencies in the United States. So basically, State Department or federal government.
ATF.
ATF. I will not be able to own it or sell it. My business dissolves at that point.
Yep.
State Department agencies, here it is right there. Any political subdivision of the state. So political, with the bodyguards, people in office will be able to wear body armor. Qualified law enforcement, yep. Enhanced body armor, lawful possession of any person at any time before the date before it takes effect. Okay. Now there's nothing. You guys notice there's nothing in that statute about grandfather. We didn't see anything in there. So we go down. Okay. What's that? Oh, the IG collab.
Yeah, when you get a chance, it's up there already.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't have my camera set up.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can just say it on the air, man.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Bro, man.
Yeah.
We working for the big time. You know,
Yeah,
we got to practice big time.
Right. Okay. Now let me. I lost my place real quick.
Enhanced body armor defined.
Okay. Right. Enhanced body armor defined. Okay. Look at this. These guys, man. Look at this. Enhanced body armor means body armor including a helmet or a shield, ballistic resistance, which meets the exceed ballistics performance of a Type 3 armor. So basically, they're going after anything that can stop rifle rounds.
The good stuff.
The good stuff, right?
The stuff that they would come after you with.
Yes.
There ain't no feds coming after you with no pistol. If
Right.
they have a pistol, that means that they made a mistake somewhere down the line.
Right.
And lost their rifle.
Isn't that something? And so they now this bill is more drastic than the other one, because if you get charged with this one, they're going to charge you not more than 10 years in prison or both. You're going to get a fine and not more than 10 years in prison.
Right.
But it's a heavy duty felony. So if you got guns, forget it. You're done. You know. Now,
Currently, what adds on to that? Currently, most states will they say something to the effect of, if you're a felon or you had a past criminal charge of a felony and you're found guilty of that, you can't have body armor, or if you use it in a commission of crime. And that's kind of like common sense, right?
right.
I can agree with that part. But then when they start telling you just because they don't want anyone
You
else
to
to
have it. Right.
so that
Yeah.
means any private security, anyone that does executive protection that doesn't have any type of oath, all that stuff, everyone that is allowed to have it are people who've taken an oath. So people who haven't taken an oath aren't the one, not going to be allowed.
Now the question is, will they be able to keep it once they let's say if a police officer get it, will they have to turn it in once it's over? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you are discharged, whether it's military or law enforcement, you don't have the obligation of that oath anymore.
Right.
So
Right.
you're not in the club no more. You're out.
So you're not going to be having. You're not. Yeah. It's the same as when I left the military. I can't take my rifle, so I have to turn all that stuff in my gear in,
Right.
unless I obtain more gear. You guys on IG, we see you guys. Don't hang out here too long because we're going to shut this down at the bottom of the show. So come on over to Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube and see the full show in its full glory.
Yeah, we do a lot of extra production. There's big
Yeah.
green screen behind me, and those shield. What do you call them? That's not a you. Knowing your house, it probably is a shield.
No, this is my
The blinds.
blinds.
Yeah, I
my
couldn't call the
blinds.
name, but they're
It
probably
would be a
ballistic.
green screen, but my green screen is on my camera tonight.
Right, but I'm saying they're knowing your house. Those are probably ballistic labeled blinds.
Yeah. So let's show you guys. I'm gonna have to move this camera. Let's see. Got a lot going on over here in my house. So I want to share what this New York law looks like, and it's a nasty law. I don't think half the people in New York know what's really happening out there. You know, and this thing right here, it's this bill passed July 1st. I mean, it went in effect July 1st, and it's called an A352. But if you look, it's a simple bill. Prohibits the purchase, possession of body armor, establishments that purchase or possessions body vests shall be classified as a misdemeanor or first offense and a Class E felony for each offense. So if you are a dealer and you got all those plate carriers, you don't even have to have plates. You can have plate carriers, and you're still going to be charged. And that's the crazy thing about it. Now, everybody's wondering, what is a Class E felony? Well, let's break that down. I'll show you what that looks like. Let me end this one and bring up that. And Class E felony, New York laws. All right, there it is right there. So Class E felony, you can from New York State, you can go to New York State prison for 1 to 5 years, 1.5 to 4 years on your first offense. Okay, this is federal state prison, not federal prison. Then you're going to be on parole for at least 1.2 to 3 years upon your release. Say goodbye to guns. You will never own another firearm and save your life, because this is the same. And now there are also fines in here too. You can be up to probation up for 10 years if depends on what your offense is.
Right.
Then your fines can go from up to $5,000 and or higher. So if you are just somebody that's like telling, screw the man, uh, I'm not going to do whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you get
Mm-hmm.
caught with this stuff driving around, you're done. Now, this is the same criminal law that they charge sex offenders with. Now, I
Yep.
wonder, the thing is, I wonder, will you have to put yourself in a registry?
I'm sure there will be a registration, whether it's known or publicly available or not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be some type of registry you're going to have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these penalties assumed you have no prior felony convictions.
Right.
Okay. So you guys are triple threat guys out there. You guys are done. They're going to throw the book at you. You'll never see the light of day again. You'll be in jail
Yep.
trying to fight Pookie and them off your back.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
So that's what's brewing now. So I mean, it's
But and people may ask, like, okay, well, that's New York. We don't. What are you guys doing that for? Because if you pay attention to the way things go, especially with the Second Amendment, those two coasts, West Coast, East Coast, and depending on which way you're looking at it, West Coast, East Coast, they start on the outside, and then it works its way in. And that's what they're doing with this right here. So New York is the prototype, so to speak.
Mhm.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
it will sweep, and the United States will start getting more states. Look at Maryland.
Well,
Just a few years ago, Maryland was a free state. Look at it now.
well,
You go to Maryland, you got all kind of conniptions in order to own a gun.
they said the same thing about California. Everybody said, "Oh, what's happening in California never happened here in the nation." You know, California did the same identical thing that these clowns in our DC area is doing with HR 1808. They're doing the same exact thing to them in California. And their governor is even pushing for a bill similar to 1808 onto California people so he can go full confiscation.
Right.
That is the plan. You guys gotta, this is not a joke, guys. I mean, yeah, you guys continuing to vote for these Democrat people, thinking they're your saviors, your hardcore Democrat people. These guys are pure evil, and everybody's saying, "Well, they're both trying to enslave you. Look at what the Republicans did." Republicans, I don't want to get into HR 8 yet, and not to the bottom of the hour, but I'm just saying, you can't. I mean, the Democrats are a lockstep in voting for this thing, except for a few, and that's because those few haven't had their arms twisted by Nancy Pelosi.
Right.
They don't have any dirt on them, But if they had dirt on them, they would go a little farther on that.
Right. And if you listen to, I'm reading one right now. Sent it to you. If you listen,
you want to post?
There's a lot of people already complaining and saying that this bill, the one that you just read, doesn't go far enough.
Oh, you serious?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that is crazy. All right, it doesn't go far enough. Okay.
Right, because that incident that happened in Buffalo, the guy right here, it says this guy wore a steel-plated vest. It was strong enough to stop a handgun round, right? Then you go down a little bit, and then they talk about soft vest a little bit, and it's here. A law hastily enacted by state lawmakers after the attack restricts sales of vests defined as bullet-resistant soft body armor. So when you go down, that has left some retailers confused about what they can and can't sell, and lawmakers talking about a possible fix. The fix is what you just read. Everything three is what they said.
Yeah.
Then they turn around and they'll make it all of it. Because they're saying that this kid wore a vest that was underneath 3. So maybe a 2A or 2 or whatever, it goes from 2 to 3. So maybe he wore a vest that was under it, and that this wouldn't have stopped him. Follow me? And
Right.
that the security guard on scene that tried to shoot this guy, I don't know. I looked. I haven't seen the actual
There's supposed to be
after
footage.
action
Yeah, they
after
got
action report.
they got
of
video
what,
from
if he
what
made
happened.
if he made hits. And,
Yeah. He probably didn't. He
Well,
probably did.
I'd like to say he didn't, and that they impacted the vest, and this kid was able to continue going. But I know that even with the vest on and him being, if he was impacted, you slow him down.
If
It,
it
it
was,
may not penetrate you.
if he had soft armor on, he would have felt it.
Hmm.
Especially if he didn't have a trauma plate.
Well, it says that it had steel. He said
He had
this,
steel?
according to this article. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't write this and
So he
didn't do
wouldn't
the
have felt
research
it at
for it.
all. Right. We
Right.
don't know
He
what he
wore a
had.
steel
because they're
plated
not-
vest.
They're not they can release anything they want to release and say
Mhm.
he did this and did that. We have no proof,
Right.
And
And that's my point, is that I haven't seen anything like, even down here, they said this is what he wore, this piece right here. And he faces fewer regulations than guns. So when you read that, when it says worn by the Buffalo shooter and faces far fewer regulations than guns, that means they want more things regulated.
right,
They want more body armor regulations.
right.
And
So
that's the key.
yeah, and they want to know who has it, what has it. If you do have it, turn it in, because there's so much of it out there right now. They have no idea how many people have it.
Hmm.
Either the good people have it, the bad people have it. They don't know. They're classifying everybody's bad if you got it.
Right.
So their philosophy is turn it. Well, they ain't saying turn it in. They're saying if you get caught with it,
Hmm.
you're going to go to jail. But if you even turn it in, because they don't have a confiscation law on about it, you're going to go to jail just for turning it in because you have it.
It's in your possession.
It's in your possession. They will lock you up and take you to jail. So you
Right.
have to keep it hidden in order to not be in charge. And so stores, they can't, if a store has prior stock, but like the guy, he didn't even buy the stuff in New York. He bought it outside and drove in with stuff on. So, but if a store has the stuff, I don't even know if any stores up there sell that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're saying that you can buy it online or face to face, or buy it online and have it shipped to you. So watch, those regulations are going to be added into that to
shipping.
slow that down as well.
Right. Yeah, well, because it's the same as the magazines. You can't buy 30-round magazines and have them shipped to California, because the person shipped them to California will be charged with a trafficking felony charge.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a state charge, but it's still fall under a felony, and they'll try to get you with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that we, like you said in your Instagram video, is that everyone has to pay attention and get it together. You find out what's going on. You just can't sit back and let the next guy go, because when you turn around, we're all going to be in the same box, empty-handed, no vest, and no firearms.
Right. Out there with sticks. We're going to be out there with
Sharpened
sticks,
six. Yep.
sharpened sticks and rocks.
And Molotov cocktails.
And
Or maybe when Russia invades, then the government will give us our guns back.
no, they'll never give them back, because
They did it for Ukraine.
Yeah, come on. This country, they'll these guys in charge right now, they'll welcome that country in.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
come on in, and we'll get the UN to come and help manage stuff. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody go to the left. They got some camps down there for you, so just go down there. They have free crackers and cheese.
That's it. There you go, right there. Once
Yeah.
you said free, I'm in, bro. I'm in.
Crackers and
It's free.
cheese. You can get all the college you want, and everything. You'll never have to pay for anything. You have free housing.
All right, you sold me on free crackers, bro.
Yeah.
You
So that's what happened, man. And then people, especially the younger generation, to be running down there to get that. They'd be like, "Oh my God!" They said free. Come on, man. But they'd go nuts. I mean, yeah, but the people just, I mean, I don't understand. It's a lot of companies are actually waking up to what's going on and actually starting to protest. and but it's like almost too late at this point, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's a waiting game to figure out if these things are going to happen
we're
and
doing this.
how the
We're doing this
vote,
every day.
yep,
Yeah.
how the vote's going to go,
Right.
which is scary because
Yeah.
if you're waiting for the votes, and that means that somebody else is making a decision already, and
Right.
it's out of our hands.
Right.
You know, for the people, by the people. Nah, we're
Right.
going to give you what you need.
Right. I encourage a lot of you guys, if you haven't done it or watched the movie or read the book, go read 1984 or read the book 1984, and you see
Hmm.
a lot
George
of
Orwell.
yeah, a lot of similarities that happened to today that was
Hmm.
happening in that book, and it's actually um, it's like they taken notes from the book. Hey,
Hmm.
ID, what's up? How you doing, man? Put you on the screen, brother. There he is. Boom, checking in. All
All
right.
right, bro.
Yep,
Thank you,
thank
man.
you. So, I, just yeah. I mean, we're living in the sci-fi world. Like I said, I thought I'd be dead and gone before I see all this, but
It's happening now, live and direct.
the nightmare is real. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
and yep. Salute, brothers. We salute you too. Appreciate you jumping on over here and participating in some of this talk we have going on. And yeah, and I don't know, man.
It's tough, but the thing also, when you talk about the ban and HR 1808, the key is what we're dealing with and what we're doing right now, and that's what we talk about it. But we
Educate
still
people.
exercise educating people, but and keeping updates with this. But we also still are participating in Second Amendment activity. We both go shoot. We
Yeah,
both train people. We talk about it. We collaborate with other people, such as I'll get watching right now, Invisible Hands. I don't want to get. I don't want to say that nickname. I wanted to say the whole name. Those type of things. Like my boy Reggie. I'm sure he'll be on shortly. Those things. That's the community. We are starting to build a community. We have a small community, but it's still a community, and everybody's like-minded. Everybody's interested in firearms. Not necessarily just to go shooting, but also the ins and outs, the workings of it, how guns work, and then body armor. Why is it that body armor is important? It's important because if we decide, if something should ever happen where we actually have to go defend this country, that's when body armor is needed. People say, "Oh, you don't need body armor. Let them have it." No, you never know. Tyrannical government. All right. We need that. We're going to need body armor. And some people need body armor right now for defending their homes.
right. I was
And
listening.
that's it.
I was listening to a video of a Delta Force elite guy was talking, and he says some of the guys in Delta Force didn't run body armor and
Hmm.
elite. Um,
What
and
years was this?
oh, this is up to now.
Okay.
And yeah, he's he's still doing little work every once in a while. And but he also said, I don't care what you have to do. If you're out there in the mess with these guys, wear full kit, helmet, plate carrier, front and back. He
Hmm.
said, if you're not in shape to wear it, get to the gym, get in shape. And so you can wear a full kit. He said every piece of protection that you have is that's more than enough instead of having no protection at all,
Right.
and they know
Hmm.
this, and that's why they want to take it away.
Exactly. And
Because
and that's my point. And that's what I said. What is it that we have to do in order to protect them, protect our rights that we're talking about? And the way that you protect the rights is having the ability to protect yourself.
hmm
And that's the reason why we haven't had takeovers and we haven't had an invasion pretty much on the North American continent
hmm
in hundreds of years. I mean, I'm sure historical people, and I can look it up my damn self to
hmm
figure out what is it, 18th War of 1812, Mexican American War, those type of where the country's been invaded, but the continent has been unscathed.
right.
And that's
Yeah.
because everybody and forever has had firearms
Right.
in America.
Right. Well, we're gonna run our commercial break. We're gonna shut down IG. Everybody on IG, come over to YouTube, the Two Alphas Talk, because we're shutting this feed down. Because we want you guys to come over there and support us over there and see the show in this full effect with the backgrounds and everything that's going on.
Yep.
So come on over there, and we're gonna shut this feed down. And
Before we go,
before we go,
let me see. See, this is what we're doing with right here. This is what it looks
are you gonna
like.
show it?
Yeah, I'm just showing a little bit. And anyway, well, thanks to guys. Thanks for coming by and stopping in.
There it is. See, that's what the show really looks like, guys, on IG. So come on over. Really support. And we're not asking for any money. It's just like and share and follow us. That's all you got to do. It's not a big deal. And at this time, we're going to go ahead and go into our commercial break. If I can get the mouse over there.
I often get the question, why train with Saber Team? And one of the things at Saber Team, we teach you from the basics on up. We do beginning classes where we get the fundamentals in play. We get sight alignment, sight mark, all your marksmanship principles in. We move forward from there, and we do advanced and intermediate training where we actually start teaching how to fight with a gun. That's the difference between shooting a gun and fighting with a gun. When you're fighting with a gun, you're trying to make hits. When you're shooting a gun, you're looking for bullseyes. We teach you how to move, get off the X, not move in a parallel motion, not be a robot.
When you get your grip, you're riding that down.
Oh.
So what I'm gonna do for you is what I do when I have guns like that.
Okay.
Put your thumb right there.
Gotcha.
It's gonna take some work and effort for you to get it there. When you dry fire at home, get that thumb on the outside.
So if you decide that you want to carry a gun, you just bought a new gun and you're ready to go, you need to come out and train. Whether it's with Saber Team or somebody else that's vested and vetted and has the knowledge and information that you need. And how do you find that? You reach out to them, you speak to them, you ask them serious questions about what they've done to get to a level of proficiency that will be able to transmit or transfer to you. At Saber Team, we've taken classes from everybody with big names, all the big names, you name it, and we've probably been to one of those training courses to learn how to fight with a gun. And then we then turn around and teach our students the same thing. So we implore everyone to come out and shoot with Saber Team because we are learning every day. We are the lifestyle of firearms and
Intermission.
as well as self-defense.
They hear you,
That's
man.
the key. You
You're
just
live.
can't shoot everybody. And we teach you who to shoot and how to shoot them.
That was funny. Turn your mic back up.
So I guess you know I'm getting a refund.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta remember when I pull you back on the screen, your mic automatically come in, and once I mute it, I should have muted it. That was my fault. That was me.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Most every other time it's always muted.
I
But
know.
I didn't check.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Welcome everybody. The Two Alphas Talk. We're on Twitch, Saber Team 19, YouTube, Saber Team, The Two Alphas Talk, and we're on Facebook, Saber Team LLC. So many Saber teams, man. And also, this is also a call-in show. You can call in 404-692-0561, or you can chat to us on each of those platforms, and we will put you on air. Like my buddy right here, ID. He's on YouTube right now watching us. Look at that. See there? Just put him on there. But he's on Twitch, though.
Twitch,
See, that's a Twitch.
Twitch.
It's Twitch.
Mm-hmm. So the symbols will pop up as
we know where you guys at. Yeah, he's on Twitch.
I think it's Wayne. Secret Agent is on,
Secret Agent. He's on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, you're about to say his name. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see. He's double.
Yeah, look at that.
He got
okay. He's
YouTube
on
too.
both. He's on both. He's on both sides. Thank you, my brother, for doing that, man. I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And and you can come up with a question you think you want to ask. Go ahead and we'll throw it on. You can share it to your people. Hey, you're right on air. Also, we want to talk about HR 1808, the situation that we're in right now. And you guys know 1808 passed the House. And it passed the House with every Democrat voting for the bill except for 4. 2 Republicans went over to the Democratic side and voted for it. Then we had 1 Republican who didn't vote at all. It passed by a margin of, I think it was 1 vote. So now the bill has been passed the House. Now it's got to go toward the Senate. And what's happened just last week, and a lot of people didn't realize it, the Judicial Committee of the Senate is looking at the bill. They're talking about it. So a lot of people saying, well, this bill will die if it'll die before it becomes to committee. It's already went to committee. They're talking about it. So that means they're planning on putting this bill on the floor. Now, let me tell you a little caveat here. If this bill goes to the floor between now and November, it will pass. And this is how it will pass. It will pass. Republicans will all vote no. The Democrats will vote all yes. It'll be a 50-50 split. And the vice president will come in and be the tiebreaker. Just like they did with that last bill. They just passed, what was it, $700 billion bill they just passed? That bill was the environmental bill, the Green Deal. It was a 50-50 vote. The vice president came in and voted that bill. This bill will pass. And if it goes to the floor of the Senate, as we have the Senate today. So the only way to change that is tell your Democratic friends, tell your Republican friends, share the information about this. We have senators that are up for re-election right now, and especially here in the state of Georgia. And you gotta get these guys, if they own firearms, to vote for a Republican. If you don't, and the Senate stays the same the way it is, what's going to happen? They're out in recess right now until September. So I don't think the bill's going to go to the floor until November. But if that Senate does not change, that bill is coming to the floor. And if that bill comes to the floor, it's going to pass. Yeah. And say goodbye to guns. Say goodbye to all your sports. Say goodbye to your defense shooting. I don't give a damn if he is an idiot. You still need to vote for him, David. I don't care how much of an idiot he is. He is your savior right now. If you think you can live without your handgun and you can live in the United States without handguns, then you're an idiot. I hate to say it.
But let me tell you this: when it comes down to this, it's the best of 2 evils. That sound familiar?
Filibuster. What about the filibuster? Did they filibuster the last bill, the Green New Deal bill? No, they did not. Okay. So that's just to tell you right there. These politicians are not to be trusted. So um, unfortunately, he is an idiot. He may be an idiot, but you need to vote for him. And if you're going to vote on your feels and not your reals, you're about to make a big mistake because we're about to lose the United States.
Also,
That's
think
what's
about
about to
this. At least his lies we know about.
Right.
He's obviously lying. He's been caught numerous times lying, and it's like you got to stop.
There it
bro.
is, right there.
You got to stop.
You vote for the lesser of the two evils.
There you go. Thank you.
There it is, right there.
That's what I like, bro. He come
Yeah.
through because I got the idea. I just don't follow through.
Right. Lesser of the two evils. Because if this bill pass, everybody who's watching, everybody in this country, say goodbye to the United States. We will fall. And what will happen within 90 days of when the bill is signed, because there's a clause in that bill that you have 90 days to turn in all your firearms
Or become an outlaw.
or become an outlaw. And they're already gearing up. If you notice, the ATF is gearing up.
How many agents they just recently hired?
Oh, all right.
Hired?
Let me get to the IRS.
Yeah, them guys.
yeah.
Same group.
FBI, we know the FBI is dirty as I don't know what. They cannot be trusted. I've had my run-ins with those guys when I was in the military. You know you can't trust them. Then you have the IRS now has been given guns, have been given arrest powers. They're doing tactical training, and they hired with 87,000 IRS agents. Those are your guys that are coming for your confiscation. They're already gearing up because they know they cannot use the military to do it. And the state military, the National Guard, the reserves are not going to do it. They already know this, especially in some of the red states. Now, the blue states, you might as well forget it. Those guys be knocking on your door. Vote Republicans and lose your freedom. 2A and everything else. Yep, you sure will. Because once we lose the Second Amendment and you lose your freedom of firearms, your First Amendment's going to go. Your Fourth Amendment's going to go because they're getting ready to lock you up. You're getting ready to protest and everything out there. You're gone, bro. And they're going to hit you with a felony so hard that you won't even be able to own a slingshot. You know? Now, the thing of it is, how many people are going to stand together? You know, I'm not even going to talk about that part. But you're better in numbers than you are as an individual. But before we even get to that, you got to vote because this is the last time. This is the last chance we have. This is it. I mean, this is it. I mean, nothing else is coming. Either we vote for our freedom or it's going to be gone. Republicans hate freedom too. Yes, they do. But the ones who's going to fight for your Second Amendment rights, you better wake up and don't be delusional yourself. If you're going to sit up here and acting like you're going to vote for an independent or vote for a weak party member or a non-Democrat, or you stay home and won't vote, you're going to be the fool, because if they don't get enough people to put in there to try to vote against this thing, we're done.
Yeah.
So wake up. Stop being in your feelings, people. This is you guys.
I want to add to that last one that Mola Labe say.
Go ahead.
I totally agree with him because it is a political class. Right? Yeah. And it's political class people and the rest of us. So I understand where you're coming from, but at this point, we're going back to that thing with the lesser of two evils.
Right.
And if we do, I would rather have my own firearms to defend myself than to wait on a phone call and somebody shows up on my behalf.
Right.
You follow me? That's the difference. And I do understand exactly what he's saying.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but
I don't think they hate freedom. I think there's us and them.
You need to understand the world, the United States, without firearms, without a Second Amendment. It is going to be total chaos here, bro. Something we've never seen before. And if you think you can survive that, more power to you.
I don't want to try it.
I don't want to see it. And it's
I don't
going
want to participate in that.
Yeah. Now they're monitoring ammo sales and manufacturers, distributors, as soon as other retailers. Most of the small retailers what they're doing is, I think you can explain that too, Al.
Yeah, that quiz that they is they calling it a quiz or a questionnaire, and they're asking detailed information and all the way down to holsters on who's buying holsters, where they're being sent, and it's generic. But at the same time, if they give a zip code, they can narrow it down. They're not idiots,
Right.
and they have a lot of technology on their side. So they're getting that information, and I can only imagine it's in some kind of database in order to be able to use and come up with an algorithm or identify certain people and their actions.
And what they're doing,
That's us.
they're building a database and getting their people in place because they know if this bill goes to the Senate, it's going to pass. So they're going to be ready for what's getting ready to go down. And
So apparently, the 87,000 IRS agents is planned from now or whenever the bill's passed until 2031. With not a full expectation of all of them being agents, but new hires, other like clerical people, and things of that nature.
right. Yes, we have to follow the Republicans with policy. Yes, you have to force them to do what you want to do. We're getting a lot of new Republicans that's coming in right now, and a lot of freshmen, people who never been entrenched. So what happens is you got to get the rhinos out, the people who are entrenched. The people who are entrenched, if they're up for re-election, you got to vote somebody in new, and that's going to give you a chance. We got a lot of veterans running. We got a lot of law enforcement people running. We got a lot of good people out there running, and these people are not going to get in there and lockstep and go against the Constitution. So that's what you have to look at. And I don't care how big of an idiot everybody think these people are, but
Oh, he's not lying. I mean,
no, he's not lying. I'm trying to emphasize something here. You need to get out and vote, and you gotta vote gun, because if you don't vote gun, it's gonna be over.
Yeah.
United States is gonna end in November of 2022. Okay, that's when it's gonna end, because I guarantee you, if that Senate don't change, 1808 will go to the floor in November. Then 90 days from that, the confiscation law goes into effect. Or you can do a buyback, $50 gift cards from Amazon or something like that. And anything after that, it's a felony if you're caught with it. But they're planning on going door to door and kicking in your door anybody who bought anything, and they have the records, because they're going to guarantee you they're going to get the records from the states, from all the firearms, 4473s, and they're going to know who has what, and they're coming to your door, and they're not going to knock on that door. They're going to kick it in. They're coming.
Now, let me just let you back up a little bit, because they're going to give that 90-day period, and all those folks that then there's going to be plenty that'll comply. So those of us that will not comply,
that's when they come.
Those of us that will not comply, that's when the door kicking starts.
That's when the door kicking starts. They coming.
Yep.
And the thing of it is, they're not exactly. We can't just vote for a team, right? You can't vote on color either. I mean, you got to vote, because this is
reason
serious.
And facts.
This is serious, and especially, only thing you got to ask them: do you stand for the Constitution? Do you stand for the Second Amendment? If they do, boom, you're in on my book. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure out the rest down the road. But first, I need you to block this. And these guys, when they come kicking, because the people that they're picking to do these jobs, they're being hand selected, and they're weeding out the people who are who love America, and they're putting people in there who hate people like us, and so they're going to classify people like us as terrorists. They'll classify me and Al as white supremacists, even though we're not white.
Right.
And so, and we'll be put on the terrorist watch list. I mean, they just did it with that special forces guy. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I've seen it on the. He did something on Instagram.
He put out an article in the newspaper, and they contacted him and told him, now you're on the terrorist watch list. You're against us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
because he expressed his opinion.
Right. And they're not just planning on arresting you. If you give them an ounce of resistance, they will put you under the ground. They're gonna take you out. and think nothing of it. And they can be like, that's one terrorist I don't have to worry about. I'll just put him down. You know, that's what's planned on happening.
Right.
And you carry permits in the
Because now they
44th
made you an
Division.
enemy of the state.
Yep.
That's
Right.
what they just did. They made you an enemy of the state.
Right. Right. And so this is very, very serious here. Let's see, red, white, and blue dawn, i.e. red dawn stuff. Yeah, red dawn. Yeah, that movie is all of a sudden resurfacing. If you notice that, it was on TV just a couple nights ago,
Right.
and trying to tell you something, trying to make you wake up, because it's about to happen, and it's about to happen quick. And everybody thinking this thing is days away, hours away, years away. It's months away.
Yep.
And that's the surprising part about it. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's this? Mike Glover? Oh yeah. Being Mike Glover. Mike Glover.
That's the guy you're talking about. Mike Glover is the guy that there's a terrorist.
Oh yeah. Oh, the special forces guy.
Right.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah. Because I follow his feed. Yeah. And he's pissed. You know what I'm saying? And
you would be too. Oh hell,
Yeah.
definitely. You know, you defend your country. You stand up for everything, and then you just don't agree with something, and you speak out of it because you have a big audience. They want to come after you.
right.
You know,
Let's see.
that'll restrict his travel too. Go ahead.
Right. It's sad that it comes to this. Wish the Republicans made it harder for this to happen when
Yeah.
they had. Oh, yes, I wish they would have too. But you know what? Everybody is like, how can you go against the Constitution? Now, check this out, David. The Supreme Court just had a ruling, said an individual right to own a firearm is our constitutional right. Yet they come out with HR 1808 stating that it's not your right to own any of these firearms. And so who is trying to overstep their boundaries? Is it the Republicans that's following the Constitution? And the Constitution is the biggest law, and we have conservative judges that have ruled that it's our right to own a firearm? Or is it the Republicans the Democrats who are trying to circumvent the Constitution and take away your constitutional rights? And all because of we're having shootings, and the shootings are they're not trying to go after the person who's doing the shooting, but they're trying to go after the tool that's the shooter is using. Everybody knows it doesn't work, and
murder's been wrong since the Bible
right
was written. Murder's been wrong since Cain killed Abel.
Right.
So why is it now all of a sudden when somebody does something with an implement, whether it's a knife, a sword, a car, drop a brick on somebody's head, they're not charged with murder and treated as a murderer? That's it.
I don't care how you look at it, how you argue it. This thing is coming. There's no way around it. It's coming. You can go rub on your guns, kiss them, put a little break free on them.
And dig a hole and bury them in it, because you can come back and look at them in 10, 15 years.
Oh, believe me. If you dig a hole and bury it on your yard, they're coming with metal detectors, Oh, they're going to check your yard. Your yard will be checked. Your house will be searched thoroughly. I wouldn't be surprised they rip the walls out, looking for
Yeah, especially if you don't have anything to turn in.
Right. They're coming, and the only thing you can do is move, go dark, at that point. There are so many movies out there that have the same, which is true.
That Red Dawn type deal, where we're being taken over and confiscation. And if you think about it, and you look at all the dictatorships in the past and all the coups and the takeovers, it was legally it was against the law for citizens to have guns.
Let's have the biggest one, Adolf Hitler. I mean, look what happened when he did it. I'm telling you guys, once this happened, they have something for us at the end, and it's not going to be pretty. You know what I'm saying? it's not going to be pretty at all. So you can sit around, sit on your hands. You can look at everybody and think nothing's going to happen. You can keep going to the range and posting videos on the internet, shooting and carrying on like nothing's happening. Don't talk about this. But if we don't change, I'm actually tired of talking about it. If you don't change this,
Yeah, I know. Just for example, today when we're getting everything ready in the show notes and all that, one of the things you like HR 18 is we kind of run that into the ground, but at the same time, it's necessary.
right?
And there we go again. Secret agent says the same thing. That's what we're talking about.
Nazis
The
did
same
the
thing,
same
and it was
thing
legal.
1930 and 1940. That's right.
Illegal confiscation.
Yep.
Illegal confiscation.
And the people wouldn't want to run along with it. And all the people who were, and I know that one very well. So, because I love history. So what happened was after they had they had a national registry. So had everybody go put their firearms in the national registry. Then when they did that, then he bombed the Reichstag. And then once he bombed the Reichstag, he classified everybody who was out there who basically Jewish was terrorists. So then at that point, they knew where every firearm was. So they had to turn them in or be subject to go to prison or being executed at that point. So the people turned them in. They didn't have any weapons. And look what happened to them. Mass extermination. What do you think is going to happen to us? Possibly the same thing, and you guys are just sitting around thinking that, I got my bug out bag and I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there. No, you're not. This is nationwide.
And to back up what you just said, there's a movie based on historical facts called Defiance, and that movie shows how the Jews were defied, and they lived in what you said. It went dark, and they went into the woods, and they defended themselves for long periods of time. But then you're talking about people who weren't fully trained, just had a will to survive, and then you got infiltrators and traitors and people who are hungry, and then somebody offers them something to eat, and of course you're going to get information, and their whereabouts are being known. So it's a decent movie, and it's the same thing like IG saying. There's a bunch of stuff in there that are movies that are out there that have the same scenario. That those people who their guns are taken away, and then they have to use the scrap guns in order to defend themselves. Look where they wind up.
And this is the biggest thing I hate about Second Amendment people. You guys don't protest. We don't protest. We don't get out there and scream and yell and let them people know you can't take our rights away. Yes, the concentration camps will soon follow. If you guys notice, when they had the sickness, it was several states, countries, even Australia, they had camps. They wanted to put you in camps here in the United States, but they knew they couldn't because we still had what? Second Amendment.
Yep.
Right. That's what stopped them.
And the will to defend yourself. That's the key.
Right. Because everybody is like, you're not going to take my rights away. That's one of the things you're not going to do. And I will fight. And if I have to go to sleep doing that, I will do that to defend my rights. And this is my constitutional rights. We're born with freedom here. And a lot of you guys don't realize how much freedom you have until it gets taken away. Once we lose our freedom.
Look at the little girl in Russia.
What little girl?
Well, she's not little. She's about 6, 7.
Oh, yeah. She can stay over there. But
well, just comparison is believe in your freedoms.
Oh,
When you believe the rest of the world is as great as this place, then you have problems.
Oh, yeah. She's in the place where she wants to be, so let her enjoy it. Eat a gruel. And, I mean, come on. The Russian gulag ain't going. It's a political prison she's going to. So political prisons are even just as tough. So they're work labor camps. So they're gonna work her, man. So she's gonna come back all diesel out, buffed up, and voice even deeper than what it is. Probably have a full growth beard, and you know what I'm saying? But
looking studly.
Yeah. That's all I got to say. You got it right, David. But the thing of it is, we gotta pay attention. We gotta tell our friends if they're on the fence, they're Democratic people. You gotta tell them, let them read. Let's pull it up on the internet, HR 1808, and let them read it and say, how many guns do you have that's on that list? Because if you haven't read that bill, you'll realize they made a list by make and model. Okay.
They're not
And-
idiots.
They're not
They're
idiots.
not idiots.
No. So you need to look at that and say, okay, how many of those guns I have on that list? I got just about all of them. Tell you the truth, I gotta make me something if I, and if not on the list, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If there's no guns,
In your
and-
country, that means slavery was perfected there, and that is.
yeah, because slavery will happen, because there's
And,
nothing
and
else.
see, people who don't understand the word slavery don't understand. They always revert back to what we have here in America. But you can be a slave in any content.
Yeah,
And any content, should I say?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It's like when you're a subject and you change that word, subject and slave. There you go. Right. So you're not a citizen anymore. You're a subject of the state. You're a subject of the country.
yeah, because everybody who resists is going to be the slaves. If you resist, you're going to be a slave.
Right.
And they already know how to get the American people. I mean, look how many of the American people wanted the sheep's milk, and I mean they embraced it. I mean, look how many. Just look around and see how many people still wearing masks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see people out at the track wearing masks. Broad
You're
daylight.
not gonna believe this, bro. I stopped somebody, and somebody I kind of recognize, don't know them, not a friend, but an acquaintance, and asked them, and they literally said it's for them to help them with the monkeypox. And I said, that's not how monkeypox is transmitted. You'll be fine.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
But I let it go. If they feel comfortable in that way, hey, look, I give them a left-handed salute.
The monkeypox now.
The
huh?
monkeypox.
But
Yep.
see, these are the idiots that we got out there. And these are the idiots that will vote your gun rights away.
Away.
Because these are the idiots out there is going to say, you don't need them. You don't need a weapon of war. You don't need what you need a military style machine gun for. We can't own machine guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you have a special license and a lot of money. And do you really want that all up your butt? Because the ATF can come to your house anytime they feel deemed that, then come look at that firearm. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So do you really want to deal with that? No. So, but
That's why I tell people all the time. They always ask me, especially guys that when I meet them and they get in and they realize they say, "Hey man, you got a silencer? Yeah, you full automatic?
Nope.
I don't want no NFA stuff.
No.
It's okay. It's okay.
So
I get protection.
So also, you guys also correct yourselves when somebody says assault weapon.
Oh yeah.
Correct them. Immediately correct them and explain to them it's not an assault weapon. Assault weapon is actually a machine gun or a firearm that fires on 3-round bursts.
Yep.
I dealt with assault weapons, and that's why we had assault teams. Assault team was a team that had fully automatic weapons, and when they did the flank, they would generate so much fire onto the enemy. That's why you had to have an automatic weapon. That's what the assault came from. Okay, assault is meaning to actually assault somebody to take them out. Yeah, it's doing them bodily harm. That's what it means.
Yep. Like this.
Mm-hmm.
See this?
What is
About
that?
20 years ago, I used one of these. It was my assault stapler.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I never had any training for it, but I was able to defend myself, and my lawyer defended me in court for using it against somebody who I had to then later arrest. But nonetheless, I hit a dude with head with a radio one time.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Because
wow.
it was the only thing I had in my hand. Only thing I can get to
You guys
Without
don't know
shooting him.
Al's a retired police officer, so
without shooting him.
Yeah.
And people always say, these unarmed people. I have skills, okay? At least I did back then, and I was able to fight and willing
Right.
to fight. So when it came down to it, I had him in the head with a radio. It was a big brick radio, some Motorola style, and I cracked him, broke the radio in half. But I never was trained to use a radio self-defense. But in a time of exigent circumstances, you have to do what you got to do.
Right.
I'm going to
Right.
win.
Yeah.
There's no referee to pull him off. There's no judges giving me any scorecards or anything like that. It's just me and him.
Right.
So,
Mano to mano. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
and that's the same thing, but this turns into an assault stapler
Yes, it can.
at the time that I need it.
Right.
See? A nice little
Right.
grip on it. It even has a little tang. Look, it has a tang. This one has a tang.
I mean, an ink pen or a pencil even works. It got a tang on it. Yeah, it does look like an AR grip. That's what I thought it was.
Exactly.
I thought it was a woman's shoe. I was like, what are you doing with here?
Hey, man,
This
if I
dude got
came
some-
across one of them stilettos, I'll pop him in the head with that thing.
He's walking around with pumps.
Mhm.
All right. He said it best. Here it is right here. If you have any gun, make, model, manufacturer, rifle, pistol, revolver, shotgun, semi-automatic, pump, lever action, single shot, and all calibers are on HR08 lists, you will lose everything in your safe. Everything. All of it be gone.
Mhm.
Except the BB guns. I don't think those are on there. You know?
That,
you will
that'd be
lose
next.
Yeah.
Air guns will probably be on there.
Oh yeah, they're coming.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the ARs, assault weapons, please correct them. We need to stop letting them take over that word and using it because they're using it incorrectly, and we need to
Yep.
correct it immediately
Mhm.
once they say it, because we got people on our side who's actually saying it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I immediately correct them because it is makes my blood boil. I mean, just hearing somebody who's a Second Amendment supposed to be an opponent or a lover
Supporter. Mhm.
supporter and sit there and call an AR-15 an assault weapon. I mean,
Right.
that's a complete fool. You
Mhm.
know? Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
but a lot of times when you say fool and you give them a chance, they're just unknowing. You know, they're
Right.
new to Second Amendment understanding. So I got that part. But when you continue doing it after being told, that's the problem,
Right.
because it sounds good or it's what you heard on television. That's the
Right.
problem.
Right. And a lot of people they're sucking up this news. And you got to turn that stuff off in order to be productive. In order to get now, also too, you guys need to join a local advocate group, either online or locally. And we have several. What's the one we got here locally, Al?
GeorgiaCarry.org.
GeorgiaCarry.org. I'm a member. Or if you don't become a member, go to their website and follow what they do.
Yeah, so $15 a year.
Yeah, it's $15 a year. It's not that expensive. What's the one we have on IG? I think it FPC or something like
They
that.
changed the name. I was going to look it up right now.
They did. Oh, I was gonna look that up. And yeah. Yes, they are ignorant. Yeah, yeah. You got it
Yeah.
right.
And they stay that way.
They
It's
say that right.
GA2A. That's their new name.
GA2A. They're on
GA2A.
Instagram. Please go
Yep.
follow them. If you can support them, support them. Share their stuff. That's the biggest stuff, because these guys are fighting for our rights. They're doing lawsuits. They're doing all types of stuff. They're doing more stuff than the stupid NRA is. And I'm
Okay, I have to change it. It's $20 a year.
oh, it's $20 a year.
Yeah.
So that's, come on, you guys spend that in gas. You know what I'm saying? Armalite is not an assault rifle. It's a rifle. Oh, it's not an assault rifle. The firearm does not move
On its own.
on its own. Yeah,
Yep.
right. Yeah. Right, yeah. Mine is sitting right next to me, and they're not jumping all over the house.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and,
Firearms Policy Coalition. That's a
Firearm
national-
Policy
that's a national
Coalition.
one. Right.
If you're on IG, please follow these guys. Please follow them.
FPC.
FPC.
Follow them and give a donation. And believe me, when they say no donation is too small, they really mean it. If you got
Right.
$5, bro, give them $5.
Yeah,
'Cause
there's
if
the
we all
name
get
right
$5.
there.
It would be helpful.
Right. Please look these guys up and please follow them. Share what they have on your stories. If you
Yep.
can share it in your page, share it in your page. My stories get more people following my stories than my page. So my stories are going crazy right now. So I'm sharing a lot of stuff into my stories. So I have a lot of ninja watchers, you know.
Really close. Good thing. Are we regulated by the FCC or just by Twitch?
Twitch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we still gotta be careful with what we say. You know. They also confuse semi-automatic with full automatic. Yes, they do.
You mean
And
like full semi-automatic?
mhm. Oh, and and speaking of that, they're also coming after what is it? The triggers, the
The binary?
binary triggers. They're going after those. They also say that those triggers are actually what makes a full automatic weapon. So, so if you have one, take it out of your gun for now.
But check
And
this out.
mhm.
These people are protected by guys that actually know what they're doing, right? Secret Service, FBI, even ATF for the most part. Couldn't one of those guys show these politicians what a real full automatic is?
They
What
have. Did you watch? I watched the hearing. I watched the hearing that they had in the House. They blew those guys apart, but the news did not. The local news did not show when they got blown apart. The local
Well,
news
that was
did not.
politicians against politicians.
Right.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so the
you have
politicians,
politicians that
they ate
were
'em for
former
lunch.
military
They
and
ate
guys
them.
that were in charge of the FBI,
They
and they
ate them
knew
for lunch,
what guns were.
and they
But
got
of
out of.
course,
And
yes.
what came out of their mouth was, "We're trying to take every gun in America," and they asked that, and they said, "Yes, we are."
Oh
That's
yeah,
what they
yeah,
said.
I got that part.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, think about this. This is just me. If I'm going to have an argument, I like to have an understanding of what we're talking about so that I can argue it with you. I can't argue if I don't know.
Right.
But in this situation, we have people who have no idea about firearms and
They
they
know.
argue.
They
and-
know.
No.
Don't. No.
You
No.
listen to that guy that said that this
no, come
has
on,
a
dude.
48 round
Dude,
clip that shoots
I think
32
that's-
seconds a
I
minute.
think that's misspeak on purpose. They know.
Oh,
They know.
Let me see if I can find this idiot.
I know what you're talking about. But I'm just saying they know. I see Lindsey Graham just got censored for supporting gun control. Lindsey Graham needs to be thrown out of office. Lindsey Graham is an old rhino that is not for the American people. We know this. And this is another reason why I say if it goes to the House, the Senate right now, that bill will pass because of Lindsey Graham. You know?
Mhm.
So they're not sticking together. And it's ridiculous that they don't. ATF's going after force reset triggers. Yes, they are. They are. But if you can find one, get one as a collector's item, you probably won't be able to use it. I mean, most of us can pull our this finger right here just as fast to make that thing sing like it's supposed to sing. And but if you want to go out and spend $200 on one of those force triggers, hey, go forth and do well. I do not say go out and spend a lot of money on a lot of gear right now, on guns and gear, because if this thing passes, you're going to need that money to help you survive on the run. So you need to make sound decisions right now on what you're going to do with your cash. You know what I'm saying? Because either one of the two things is going to happen. Either you're going to comply or resist.
Right.
One of the two. We don't need to talk about what you're going to do. Don't even put it in the chat. That's between you and God. You make that decision. We talk about all that stuff offline, off the air, off internet. We don't talk about that stuff here, okay? Because that is what we're not trying to.
That's a personal decision.
That's a personal
Because
decision.
you got family members, you got yourself, you got those things to think about. But at the same time, you also have to be ready. So like what you're saying right now in reference to not going out and trying to hoard a lot of equipment and then be subject to confiscation is correct. But if whatever you do have, you make sure you keep it in working order. And to quote one of my boys from the past, make sure your stuff is clean and packed and ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Let's
That's
see.
all I'm
What's
saying.
this? Let's see. They banned body armor only in New York State. It was banned. The ban went out on July 1st.
Right.
A defensive piece of equipment. Right.
He laughed so dumb. So
Yeah.
what they're saying to us is they want to make sure that the cops can shoot you or anyone on
Right.
that a fact and know you
Right.
can't be wearing body armor. So they're going to charge people at the body. Right. Yep.
That's right. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's exactly right. Yeah, you won't be able to wear it. But I
You know,
guarantee.
on another note, I just thought about something else. There's people who are in the business like jewelers, right? And they have a lot of money transitioning in their stores or wherever they do business.
Yeah, they got
And they wear a
security.
soft body. Yeah,
Yes,
but
they
they
do.
wear a soft body armor.
Yeah, it
And
will
those
be
guys
illegal.
wear, then it'll be illegal, especially in
It'll
New
be
York.
illegal. Yeah.
There's a lot of jewelry. But think about it. If it's illegal there and these guys are law-abiding citizens and they're wearing body armor, what is that telling you? What's going to happen to the rest of us?
Right.
You know, and these guys are you know, they're transporting hundreds of thousands of dollars on a daily basis. They're millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're taking their rights away, what do you think they're going to do to the guy that you know just likes to have shoot a few rounds on the weekend at his local indoor range?
Look at this. This is funny. Yeah. Before you know it, they're gonna ban those golf people's pants. I have no idea what those are, but
Yeah,
because they got chains on them.
right. That's like chainmail,
Yeah.
like the armor. Yeah,
Chains make people uncomfortable. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Whatever makes people uncomfortable.
Yep.
Like an old saying, I saw. I think I talked about this on one of the shows. It was a whole bunch of sheep, and the sheep was constantly getting attacked by the wolf. This is a wolf come down and kill a bunch of the sheep. So the sheep committee and government got together, and they figured out it wasn't the wolf that was doing the problem, but it was the wolf teeth that was doing the problem. So they decided to pull out all their teeth. So when they pulled out all their teeth, they had a bunch of sheep without teeth. The wolf still came back down and killed them again because now they had no teeth. You know,
Right.
so they still,
That's the same thing with disarmament.
yeah, that's what disarmament. Right. So hopefully the American people galvanize and get together. I see they're starting to get rallied up.
You can tell by right here. You
Yeah.
can tell right here tonight.
Right.
I really appreciate all you guys, your comments and participation.
Yes.
But we can tell right now.
Right. And we do appreciate it. And just trying to get the word out, share the word, talk about HR 08, talk about what's going on to your friends. I mean, 1808, talk about what's happening, get your families and friends what's going on, and let them know be aware of what's happening, and that we're about to lose our country here in a couple of months.
We got to target the middle ground people too, guys. The middle
Right.
ground. You guys that are already Second Amendment proponents,
They're
they
good.
already know what to do. But those people in the middle, I don't know. There's a lot of violence going on. You got to
Right.
explain that violence.
And soon you got a bunch of, I know all you guys do, you got a bunch of liberal hardcore people in your family. I do.
Somewhere.
And I got so many of them, I need to start throwing the sticks at them. It's ridiculous, you know? And but but I need to get on their trip and let them know, hey, this is about to happen, you know? You guys need to wake up too, you know? But first I want to get the word out and then share it with you guys. Yeah. A solid meteor.
Metaphor.
A metaphor.
What they should have done is given the sheep a 50 cal, and then the sheep could shoot wolf. Exactly.
Right.
Sheep gun
Yeah.
rights smarter.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But, you know, sheep are just as stupid as the people who wearing masks still around. You see these guys driving with these masks. Those are your sheep.
My God.
Now, and you know the funny part about this. Check this out, guys. Hold on. Listen to this real quick. I need to share this because I didn't get a chance to talk about this. The FBI came out with a terrorist watch list that was leaked by an FBI informant. It was a guy who came forward and told us what the FBI was doing. So everybody was on that list except for Antifa and BLM. So who do you think is going to be rallying up against you guys once you guys go on the floor to try to support your Second Amendment rights? Those guys, because they're not going to be felons. You're going to be the terrorists.
Right.
And they're going to be, they're classifying them as the good people and we're the bad people. So that's what they're doing.
Right.
I mean, if you're a part of Oath Keepers, if you was a member of it, you're now a terrorist. If you have the was Don't Tread on Me flag,
Bumper sticker,
you're now a
anything.
terrorist. The Betsy Ross flag, you're now a terrorist. Okay, and they're mostly going after white guys, but if you have any of those items supporting any showing support for any of those items, you're going to fall into that class.
Yep.
So be careful with stickers, be careful with nomenclature, choose your friends wisely, because just like when the Nazis came door to door looking for Jewish people, what happened? You had your neighbors that was turning you in. And that's what's going to happen in this case too.
And you know something, the crazy part about this, and a lot of times people look at me when I say this, but those people thought they were doing the right thing.
Right.
Those people calling in, they were patriotic and they loved their country, and they thought they were doing the right thing by calling and letting people know who was hiding where.
Right. And he's right. Yeah. They it makes it much easier to tell who are liberals, but it also makes it much easier how many of those people are going to vote your rights away.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones. Those are the ones right there. So, and they're not trying to hide it. They're not trying to hide it at all.
Not at all.
They're playing
demonic chess.
Yes. And the demonic chess is a big reset. If we do this is to be the biggest reset we ever have in the United States, because
It'll change everything.
It'll change everything, because next, the final two steps that they would need is to control the food and the money. And once you change the currency and control the food, you control a country. We're done.
They're already in. They already have a grasp of that.
Yeah, the government is a terrorist at this point, and that's why the Second Amendment was wrote this way. Okay, because they foreseen this happening.
Right.
Okay, so
think about that.
Like we said, we need you guys to put this information out as much as possible.
Yep.
Try to
wherever
share
you
it.
are, like it, guys. Share it. The more you share it, the more
it.
people like us get to see it.
Yep. And let us do the speaking for you. If you can't do the speaking, but most of you guys are educated, because I see how you guys are, way you're writing. So your comments, but get out to those people that you know who are on the fence, who own firearms, the ones who own firearms, and let them know they will not own it after November if this law passes, and see what they say then, especially the ones who can't really afford the firearm that they have. Right. Let's see what they say then, and let's see how they still support big government, want the Democrat love machine to continue to support. All right, now we're on all three platforms: Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And I want to thank all you guys for throwing out this excellent comments and feedback that we have. What you got, Al?
Same thing, man. I like to thank all these guys that participated, and I like to thank you, my brother, for taking care of business as usual. And a nice, smooth show. Guys, remember, you gotta like it, gotta send it out there and share it. Even if you just throw it on Facebook, the algorithm helps, and it gives us feedback and gets other people who are interested in this topic and discussion, gets them information as well.
Right. And one more comment. So we put it up.
Go ahead and do it.
All right. Just moved to Arizona. We have plenty of guns. We have plenty of gun rights. I think even a sanctuary state for gun rights, but I can't be wrong. Check out your state. Yep. And that's what each state needs to push for sanctuary rights. If we push for sanctuary rights, that means you can carry inside your state, but you cannot leave that state with that firearm.
Right. That's cool. Let them come to me.
Yeah. Let them
play a home game.
So, it'll be great. And thank you for listening to us talk about your rights.
Yep.
And with that, we're gonna say good night, and we'll see you guys in the range.
See you on the range, guys.